What is going on, my Carp Nation? I am BobZeBattleDroid, and I am here with another Stealthy Saturday strategy video. And in this video, I'm going to be going over a Lucario deck. That's all about I can say for it. It's just a Lucario deck. There's nothing really else to it that isn't, diverse or different from any other standard deck in the new format. And as the day I'm recording this, it's only been out for 2 days, which is pretty exciting. And I'm, making a big guess here. I'm saying this is going to be one of the best budget decks. And it's a really great budget deck considering that your main attacker is around $1 to $2 in Lucario. Besides Shaman, this deck's pretty cheap and pretty affordable. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. To start off here, we run 4 Riolu. Nothing all that special about Riolu here. Got 70 HP, which is pretty nice. Allows it to not be hit as easily as your typical Froggy or something like that. We've also got 4 Lucario, and this is amazing. Its attack, Fight Alone, has a lot of potential. It does 30, plus 60 more damage for each Pokemon fewer in play you have. And again, as I said, it's only a few dollars a piece, and for a main attacker, that's pretty affordable considering like Mega Ray is like 20 bucks and you need 4 of those. So, it's pretty good. We also run 1 Cobalion, just kind of a tech here. It is helpful against something like Glaceon EX, as we do not run Pokemon Ranger in this deck. You can always take out some cards here and put that in there if you think that is an issue. Although, Cobalion can take some knockouts here and there. Can do some damage late game. We've got 2 of the meta. That's about it. Again, they're like 40-50 bucks a piece. Unfortunately, you've got to run them. It's a standard deck, and I want to make it as competitive as physically possible. You've got to run the 2 of them. On to supporters, we've got 4 Sycamore. It's the best draw supporter in the game. That's pretty much it there. 3 N. Great late game, shuffling our opponent's hand down to 1 or 2 cards. And again, it's another great draw supporter in that. We've also got 1 Hex Maniac. Hex Maniac is awesome, and it is the proxy. I don't know where my other one is, but it's somewhere. I think it's in my Noivern Break deck, which I've got to find. I don't know where it is. It's upstairs in my room or something. Now I'm rambling. Anyway, Hex Maniac's a great supporter card. It shuts off abilities. This deck's biggest weakness is going to be Greninja. It's going to be horrendous. Now, we are going to be taking knockouts here and there on Greninjas, but if they get set up, man, they're going to be sniping our Lucarios all day long. It's going to be a little annoying. We also have got 1 Lysander. It's pretty much a staple in any deck, but it's pretty important in a deck like this because we want to take knockouts on Pokemon that have energy attached to them or Pokemon that are set up because we're dishing out tons of damage. We don't want to waste it on like a 50 HP Pokemon. We want to take a knockout on some big, hefty Pokemon. Also got 1 Teammates in a deck that we know that we're gonna lose some Lucarios. We know that we're gonna lose some prize cards to our opponent, and we know that. But that's the benefit of it, because we're only losing 1 prize card, and if we're taking charging our opponent and taking prize cards that way, we're gonna be taking 2 of their EXs. So we've got a prize trade, and I don't mind losing a few prizes to a deck. And Teammates is going to actually help us because if they happen to knock out a Lucario, which I'm expecting, we can Teammates, get 2 cards, and set up another one. Just keep on chaining it like that, and eventually we're going to win the game. On to items, we've got 4 Ultra Ball. Best ball in the game, I don't know what to say about that. It's great. It allows us to search for anything in the deck, not specifically one thing. And because we're not running Bridget, we've got to run 3 level ball. Allows us to search for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less, and we kind of have to run it because, we've got to get Riolus out. They have some HP, but they're still fragile. We don't want to bench a lot of Pokemon, so it's kind of better. I don't know. I like having level ball in the deck though. Got 4 VS Seeker. Again, we do run 3 1-ofs in the deck, so VS Seeker is great for bringing that supporter back from discard pile and into our hand as well, as we don't have to run as many draw supporters, so that's great. For Trainer's Mail, we are going to have to get our Lucarios set up pretty quickly, because that's all we got to get them set up quickly, and we got to continuously get them set up, because that's all we run. We don't run any big Pokemon that we could wall for a turn or anything. That's all we're doing. So Trainer's Mail is going to help us do that. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck, and you pick a trainer card that you find there. Now, one of the problems that I thought about this deck is that it's going to have a problem trying to keep energy attachment, right? Because Lucario's attack costs 2 energy, but it's not a DCE, so we can't use DCE. So EXP share is going to allow us to, when a Lucario gets knocked out, we have a Lucario on the bench with an EXP share, basic energy from that one on in the active is going to go from that to the bench instead of going straight to the discard. So that's great there, because now we can save a turn of energy attachment, and we don't have to maybe lose a prize, send up something to get knocked out by our opponent. We don't have to worry about that anymore. We can just attach the following turn and get going. Now, because we're only running Lucario again as our attacker, we need 4 puzzle at a time, because we've got to search back those Lucarios again to just get them back out again. We can search out teammates. We can search out anything. Puzzle time is great. You do have to you have to play 2 at the same time to grab 2 cards, but it's worth it. I mean, it's worth the 4 spots, honestly, and especially in a deck like this. And a lot of you are probably wondering, well, yeah, this sounds good deck, right? But good players are just not going to bench any basic Pokemon, right? So what we've got is Captivating Pokepuff. So what Captivating Pokepuff does is it says your opponent reveals his or her hand. Put any number of basic Pokemon you find there onto your opponent's bench. Now we're talking, right? Now we're talking, because Captivating Pokepuff is going to allow us to just grab some Pokemon from our opponent's hand and put them onto the bench. It's also great because if we want to, we can use Captivating Pokepuff to maybe grab, a Shaymaniacs and prevent our opponent from playing it. We can also look at our opponent's hand even if we aren't planning on, putting any Pokemon down, or we can if you have a full bench. So, it's a good card, and it does a little bit more than what it just says it does. It's great for seeing your opponent's hand. We run 1 Super Rod. We could run more, although we really don't need it, considering that we play 4 puzzle a time, and it means that we're probably going to at least get 1 puzzle a time a game. It's great to get 2. It's difficult, though, because sometimes you'll get it with a Sycamore, and you just have to discard, because you have to, keep your deck running and moving and everything, so you have to discard the puzzle. So, you could always puzzle for a puzzle and then use puzzle time again. But, it's difficult to do 2 in a game. 1 Float Stone. That's all we'd run. So 1 retreating card. Really, the only thing that our opponent's going to do is likely Lysander up a Shaman. They really probably won't Lysander up a Lucario unless it's to knock it out on the bench with an EXP share. Or if they're really bad, they could Lysander up a Lucario and stall. But really, that we don't have anything on the bench that's just going to sit there, really. We have Shaman, but, Lucario has a 2 retreat cost, but when you have 3 Pokemon in play and both are Lucario, one's a Shaman, you don't have really a lot of options to Lysander something up with a high retreat cost. That's all why we run that. For our stadium, we've got 3 Skyfield. Allows the bench to go up to 8 slots instead of 5. It's great in this deck because, well, we can abuse it like crazy. We have 4 Captivating Pokepuff, and we can use it multiple times with puzzle at a time. If we get all of our puzzles, to work, and we don't prize a Pokepuff or something like that, we can use Pokepuff for 8 times, so a max of 8 times. And that's just insane. We can just abuse that card and just play it over and over and over again. And our opponent's just going to have to bench Pokemon. And it's going to be great because our opponent won't have an out to dealing with it. And so it's just a great card there. Another thing about Skyfield is that we don't run 4 because it sometimes isn't always needed. Another thing is, just to keep in mind, 2 big decks in the format, or 2 big hype decks, are Rainbow Road with Xerneas and, of course, Mega Rayquaza, because Joltik's gone in Night March. That's a big deal. And that's, the 2 really big hype decks that play that stadium. And so if you run into 2 of them quite often, that's all they run. And so they're going to play that so they can knock you out. And they don't have any response with that, right? So you can abuse it that way too. That's it. For energy, we just play 8 basic. 8 basic metal. We can play some shield energy. I believe what it does is it makes attacks do 20 less damage to you, so that is decent, but I haven't found that to be all that helpful. But that's going to be about it for this video. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to catch you guys later in the next video.